So yeah, I'm here with Mrs. Debbie Gibson. She is a well-known hairstylist in the Durham area. She's grown. How many salons have you owned?
Four.
Four salons. And this was back before social media. So I feel like this is something that everybody needs to hear because there was a time where things were different, where we didn't have social media and we had to get out there. And today, that's what we're mainly going to discuss. How you had to get out there, how you were able to scale on the high end of six-figure businesses back in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel about, I guess, seeing a stylist coming to you and saying, I'm ready to be on Blueprint?
I encouraged all of my girls to get on Blueprint. I encouraged them when they felt that they was ready to get on Blueprint to get on Blueprint. And some of them, I actually pushed them into Blueprint, because they were on that level where they could handle their own. And that was a disadvantage for me to put them on Blueprint. But, that was God, telling me to always, make somebody else successful as well,
So you had a mindset of grooming and growing hairstylists. Were you at the beauty schools getting people, or people just kind of knew your salon and were coming to you?
People just came to me. Everybody who knew me would send their people to me, and I advertised at the schools, and most of the schools sent their people to me as well. I had a very I was recommended highly at the schools for new students, and certain kinds of students. They was at the top of their game. I wanted them.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what was marketing like back then? I would say in 90. What was this? Can you give me a time frame?
I would say, let's say 93, 92, 93, something like that. It was, marketing was for me, I did word of mouth. We did, I went to one of the largest churches in Durham, and I'm from Durham, so I know lots and lots of people. And I had started in a house with a large clientele. I went to a large church. So I started marketing with flyers, every day on the campuses and in the neighborhoods. We picked neighborhoods. We went into neighborhoods, everyday churches. On Sundays, we did different churches, parking lots, things like that, with different specials to promote the days that we were slow, like on Tuesdays or Wednesday. We have certain specials on those days to keep us busy and also to expose us to the neighborhoods, to different people, whatever. Mm-hmm.
So you made sure people, I guess, knew who you were, what your salon was, and what y'all did.
Yeah, we wanted, my goal was to make our name, a household name.
What is a household name? What does that mean?
That's a name. A household name is when it's everybody knows you. Everybody knows you. Everybody knows you. Everybody knows where you are. Everybody knows you. Everybody knows what you specialize in. And to always have something that nobody else does.
Mm-hmm. Now, I remember with your salon, I feel like you had a mindset of not turning anybody away.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Like you found a way,
right,
to get them going. And I remember you would be like, just get their head wet.
Amen.
Just wet. Because what did you say after that? It was something you used to say.
I can tell you get them. Let's just say that if we were backed up, and let's say I had 8 girls on the floor, and we backed up. We got people. Get them wet. Shampoo their hair. Get this shit on them. That's it. We got them.
You used to say get their head wet. Ain't nobody gonna leave with a wet head.
Ain't nobody leave with a wet head. Get them wet.
And let them sit in the front.
Let them sit in the front. Get them, or something to dry them. You know, just get them wet or lay them in the sink. I mean, get them comfortable. Get them comfortable. You know, let them know that you're gonna be a while. You know, that we're gonna be a while. We'll do it. We'll take it. You know, we'll take it.
But you're gonna have to wait.
You're gonna have to wait, but while you're waiting, we're gonna, you know, get you wet. You know, but the one thing that a person that's in a salon, one thing they hate is sitting, feeling like they have not been touched.
Okay.
I always touch them. That's what you got to do when you're behind and you got people waiting for you or whatever. Get them wet, wash their hair, put their conditioner on at least, and they feel like they're being serviced. Versus if you leave somebody in the lobby and they still waiting and then they waiting an hour, they actually feel like you're servicing them because they wet, they got the conditioner on, they in there. You know what I'm saying?
I will say, like, you have had a salon where it was more like a walk-in culture.
Right.
You had your clients that were booked, but people knew, like, if somebody else canceled on me or I got an event to go to, I can go to this place and they're going to help me.
Right.
And I will say today there's not a lot of that.
Right.
Like, there's not a lot of places you can just say, I can walk in here.
Right. And that's good and bad. But the thing is that we always had, depending on what they were getting, we always had people with slow clientels, and we had girls that was always booked, and guys, you know, that was always booked. And then we had some that was, you know, just coming up in the game and they needed a chance to, you know. So we had to, you know, let people know we got some slower than others, but we can get you, you know.
Okay. Talk about marketing, because we kind of briefly spoke about it, but I don't think you mentioned you were doing Yellow Page ads, right?
Yeah. I did Yellow Page ads.
Can you explain that? Because some people from a different era from now, they don't know anything about what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I was the first black salon in Durham to go into the Yellow Pages.
Okay.
And the Yellow Pages is where, as far as, everybody went in the Yellow Pages as far as what they're looking for. But we were the only, the first black salon with like full-page ads in the Yellow Pages and half pages and blocks and all that. We went in all Yellow Pages, and at that time I think it was like 3 or 4 different kinds of Yellow Pages. So we went into all of them, and so our phones rang all day.
Mm-hmm. So you were doing like mass marketing.
Mass marketing.
But you had the staff to take on.
Right.
You always had the staff to take on.
Right.
Now,
but we had to train them.
Okay.
We had to train them.
Now, sometimes with training be happening like right then.
What we would do is I would run specials on certain days, and those were like if you couldn't do blowouts or you couldn't do something, we would run a cheap blowout day, you know, and get the girls that's new with blowouts, get them in, train them how to do it with speed, and or just something simple like roller sets with speed, you know, things like that. We would have days where we would just market slow days. We would just market things where that the girls need to train on, you know.
Okay. What was one of the most difficult times in the industry?
We had mass, like someone coming in to lower prices. We lowered prices on certain days for markets and for education, things like that. But then when we had salons coming in, lowering prices on Saturdays, like Sunday through Saturday, every day. And that kind of like crashed the market, and it really ruined our market.
So you all had specific days where you were doing discounts, but then you had salons popping up, and that was just their motto, is a discount salon.
Yeah, like every day, like an everyday cheap thing going on.
So did you have people coming in like, well, I can get this for this price down here?
Mm-hmm, right. And and that's that's business too. That's business. You can get it down there for that on this day, but you won't get it down here for that on this day. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. The salons that you had back in the 90s, are those structures gone? And what I mean is that type of salon setting dead?
I would say yes and no. At one point in the salon, we didn't have a lot of people weaving hair. So at one point we could charge. It was only at one point in Durham. It was only I, Natasha, and a lady named Musana doing weaves. So we could charge $500 for a weave.
And this was back when?
That was in the early 90s. We could charge whatever we wanted to for a weave because there wasn't nobody doing them.
Mm-hmm. Where did you learn the technique from?
I had alopecia, thin edges, all that kind of stuff back in there. So I had to learn how to make my hair look thick all the time and things like that. So I learned it from, I would say I learned a lot from a girl named, that had a salon here named Natasha Barbie. Mm-hmm. I learned a lot from her. And I worked from her. I worked for her for maybe like about 6 months. I worked in her salon. I rented a booth in her salon. And I would say I learned a lot of things from Natasha. I had already was doing it when I went to work at her salon, but she studied all over the place. She was all over the country going to classes and things all over California and everything. She would travel and get education all the time. And I think I learned a lot from her. Things from people. I picked up things easy in the braiding and weaving industry. I just picked it up. It was my best area,
Okay, so you were more so a braider and, you did hair extensions.
That's how I started.
That's how you started.
That's how I started. That's what I was doing before I went to beauty college, mostly.
Okay. Now, I haven't heard much about your booth rental days, like you working in a salon, because I'm just hearing about Miss Debbie owning salons. What was your journey going from being a stylist in a salon or being at your, however you did it? What was your journey like?
I only worked at one salon in booth rental, and it was a terrible journey. It was terrible because we had to be out of the salon by a certain time. So that means I had to pack up, go home, still do hair, because she didn't want us to work at too many. Certain hours she wanted to close when us gone, things like that. And those things I swore I wouldn't do. That was against the law too.
Y'all had to leave by a certain time?
Yeah, we had to leave by a certain time. But that was against the law because when you rent a space, you by law you're supposed to be able to occupy it, when you need it.
I don't understand, what was that about, being that the more money you all could make, that'll make it easier for you all to handle y'all's obligation with her. Mm-hmm. Why was she changing the hours kind of randomly, or?
That was her rules.
Okay.
Her regulations, and I don't want to get out here too far.
Okay, I'll beep her name out.
Yeah.
Is she still around?
No, she did. She actually died.
Okay.
She died. She died with cancer. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Not too, it's been about 8 years ago.
Okay.
So.
Okay, rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I haven't heard. So you only worked in one salon, and then you started owning your own salon?
I was working in the house for years before I went into the salon, and that was the only salon I went into. And I went from that back in the house, and then I went into business for myself. Owning businesses from there.
Okay, yeah, you didn't do a lot of time working for other people.
No. Well, no, I've never worked for anybody doing hair. I've rented a booth, but I've never worked for anybody doing hair.
Okay, all right. You went straight from there to owning 4 salons. Can you tell me about how you got your first salon, like the lease, how much it was at that time, Just that whole process.
How I got it, I was in a car accident.
Mm-hmm.
And me and my first husband, we was in a car accident. And we got our money. My ex-husband gave me $3,000 to start the business. And the rent was, I think the rent then was like $350 a month.
What?
And it was on the West End.
Commercially?
Commercial lease. And it was on the West End. And we went and bought some old equipment from people. Somebody had some old equipment somewhere. Some gold dryers, you know, that yellow gold, that old yellow color. Then it had some...
We'll find a picture of it.
It had some old yellow wallpaper on the wall. And some orange. We had some orange dryers, some yellow ones, some...
It was mixed match.
Yes.
But they worked though. They got the job done.
They got the job done, girl. They put out that they did it. They did it. I'm telling you. And my ex-husband went in and painted it and things like that. And we put some that sticky towel on the floor, that peel and stick.
Mm-hmm.
We put that peel and stick towel on the floor, and it was next to a convenience store, so it was high traffic. And, you know, like we had high traffic. Then we had like the dope boys on the corner. And so we had to, we had to call the police every 5 minutes.
Oh Lord!
We kept the door locked. We kept the door locked,
Okay.
but it stayed packed.
It
stayed packed. We was on the West End. It stayed packed, and we were saved. We be praying and falling out in the spirit. We had a good time in that place. You know what I mean? So it was really, really. The highlights of my life. I really, I actually I forgot about that stuff, but I actually loved it. Then everybody who didn't have to work that day from the church or whatever, they come hang out in the salon all day. Just a place to come hang out. Everybody sent everybody to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then how I really, really got in business, it was a Muslim lady. She was down further on the West End. Her name was Musana. Her salon was more so down between Lakewood and the Hardys, down on that end of the West End. And she was a Muslim. I never met her a day in my life.
Oh wow!
Never met Musana a day to this day, and that was 40-something years ago. To this day, I've never met that lady. But she sent everybody in the world to me. She just found out I was black and I was doing braids and weaves. And she had so many clients. She had people traveling in from New York, all over the country. She sent them down there to me. Mm-hmm. And she put me on the map.
Oh, wow.
She put me on the map. And again, we put out flyers every day. I went to one of the biggest churches in Durham. There, so, at that time, everybody worked at Duke. So I had everybody from Duke. And everybody worked at Northern Telecom. I had everybody from Northern Telecom. Mm-hmm. Everybody worked at IBM. I had everybody from IBM. So, I was on the map. I was on the map. And word of mouth was big. And word of mouth was big. But that lady Musana, she was one of the only. Her and Natasha were the only braiders in Durham. And then it was me. I came on the scene as last, and I've never met her, but she put me on the map. She just heard about me, and I was down the street from her, on another corner, and she just did it for me.
I mean, I think that's how things need to be. Like, if you can't take on the clientele, why not send it to somebody who does a good job?
Exactly.
Why not? That's good. That's good to hear. Women supporting women in business.
Oh yes. Now, when I started in business, we were the beauticians were. We ride to the shows together. We do things together. We go to Atlanta together. We you know, we hooked up. We went to each other's salon, get our hair done.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So the salon owners or stylists just had
The owners, the stylists, Campus Cuts, all the stylists in Durham came to Campus Cuts, and our stylists just went to their places sometimes and stuff. But everybody in Durham came to Campus Cuts. You know, over there, some of their people in their salon. We had a good rapport. You know, I went to school with Sophia. I admired her work. She admired mine. You know, we admired, Hair State. They were bad. Down this, it was just everybody was just, at the time when Hair State came on later, but when I started in the game, we were all out here making money. Everybody making money. And everybody made a bunch of money. I mean, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. It wasn't like it is now. Yeah.
I feel like, you mentioned a few different people, and I think y'all kind of have your own niche. Yours is braiding and weaving. The other lady you mentioned, I think hers was like more shortcuts and things like that. But it's like everybody had their thing. You said everybody was making money. So
everybody was making money.
Love. It was cool.
It was love. We see each other. We love each other. We holler. We didn't get to hang out sometime, but when we could, certain people, in the city, we did. We meet each other for lunch somewhere. Me and some of the stylists on Austin Avenue. We would, I was on. When I was on the West End, some of the stylists in Lakewood, we go out to lunch. We did it up. We did it up.
Well, I can tell you, I don't know if stylists are talking and communing like that anymore. I don't even think since I've been in the industry. And what I'll say is, I might have been on the tail end of the salon culture, and then I came into like when the shift happened.
Yeah.
So
you came in at a good time, though. You came in when you came to work for me. You came in my salon when it was when I had Campus Cuts. You came in on the upswing. We was on the upswing at Campus Cuts, and when you was shy, but you came in at a good time, and God sent you to me. God sent you to me, God sent you to me. And, I know God sent a lot of people to me. I know it was. Because, I was at the height of my game, but I love God more than anything in the world, so I was willing to help people. And, God would give me ideas and things, that I never trained or went to school for, and to put in other people, and things. So I know God sent people to me. And another thing, most of the girls that work for me are either born again or know better.
Or know better.
They one or the other, If they not born again, they know better. You know what I mean? They know better.
Well, okay. Well, even if they weren't, I think they might have at least saw God or you probably led some people to Christ. Right?
Yeah, we led people to Christ. And this let my stylist, most of my stylists got saved. Everybody come to the shop get saved.
That was like the underlying.
That was it. You got to hear the gospel. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't play any kind of rock music. We only played instrumental and Christian. You know what I mean?
No rock and roll.
No rock and roll, baby. No rap.
No rap.
No,
okay.
Definitely no rap.
Now I want to talk about that because you'll see some girls who will have like the latest rap song on their marketing or whatever, and they might be saying just a lot of vulgar things, and they probably do some really good hair. Yeah. But personally, I just don't think it's professional. I think there's a time to listen to that. If that's what you like, listen to that later on. But I think you're creating a mood for the client.
Right. And right. I will say that that's an area of maturity, and it's an area of the Bible said we'll destroy because of lack of knowledge. I think see, if you don't know better, then you won't do better. You know what I mean? So let's just say if somebody does play rap music or something, my girls knew why we didn't play rap music. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We entertain. Number one, I don't listen to it, so I'm not gonna subject my spirit to it because I don't listen to it. And then we have people that pay big money to come in here, and they're not gonna want to hear it, and we don't want to set an atmosphere where they won't come back because of the music. Now a lot of people gonna come in. I mean, they don't care what they're listening to; they just gonna listen to it. But there are people with a lot of money that you're gonna miss because of what they're not gonna listen to that. You know, and all money is good money.
Wait, all money is good money?
All money is good money in business.
Okay.
When you're in business, you know, you want to set an atmosphere for all money.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Now, with a standard.
Okay.
With a standard, you know what I'm saying? But you want to set an atmosphere for all money. You don't want to have an atmosphere where that you're going to intimidate. Somebody have to listen to something that's vulgar and nasty and disrespects God. Mm-hmm. You know, you're disrespecting God, not only yourself and the people that's coming in and out. You're disrespecting God. You don't want an atmosphere where you just totally just disrespect God. You know, even if you're not born again, I can understand that you're not saved. And you know, I knew that. Now the girls that work for me, a lot of them were not born again. They didn't go to church. They didn't do this and the other. And that was, you know, I understood that. I mean, I ain't been saved all my life. So, you know, I understood that they was going to cut up a little bit or whatever. But, you know, I had to set the standard for them. And this is what we're not going to do, you know. Now, what you do, you know, and I even, you know, we have a meeting every Monday. Even tell them how to act in the club. You know, how we act in the club because, you know, that's how we make money. You know, we in the club making money, you know. Mm-hmm. Wherever we at, we making money. You know what I mean? So
What you mean by that? How are we making money in a club?
Well, people know you're in the club. They know where you work. They know what you do. And now you have to have moral conduct. You know, moral conduct. Even if you're a sinner, you going to the club, you going wherever you do. You know what I mean? In the salon, we don't listen to certain kind of music. You're going to do things in the club that you don't. You're going to be drinking and whatever you do in the club, dancing or whatever. But at the same time, you don't want to be in the club, you know, starting fights and cussing and arguing with people and things like that because that's going to reflect back to, they're going to say, you know, Brooke was down there. They were like, Brooke who? Brooke work at Campus Cuts. They not even going to know your last name. You know, they know you. They're going to identify you with your where you do hair at, you know, so you have to have a certain type of attitude, image out there. You know what I mean? You have to be business image out there, and then you want to be out there where they see your hair. You're at the club, they come in the mall, you know.
Okay.
So you know,
marketing.
You still working, you know, 24 hours a day when you in business. You know what I'm saying?
Now, I do remember you telling me that, of course, you are marketing when you go out, so the way you present yourself, people want to know, you know, about your hair or whatever. You used to tell us, like, you like a celebrity.
Right.
Like, people going to know you, so how you present in the growth, like, somebody might be like, oh, hey, how you doing? You might not remember them, but you're supposed to act like you know them. Right. I remember you saying.
I always act like you know people because you see so many people in the salon. Well, see now, you know, I'm getting old. It's true now for real. But yeah, always act like don't look at people act like well you don't know them because you have to know them.
Right.
You know, because they know you. You know.
You know what? I think my sister went to somebody. Somebody did her hair, and I think she seen her out. My sister was like, hey, and the girl like I don't know you.
Mm-hmm. That's hurt your feelings. You ain't gonna want to go back and get your hair done no more.
Like you did my hair, and she was like, oh.
Yeah, you don't want to go back there. You gotta be like.
But that's what's going on. Nobody's teaching.
Yeah, you
these girls.
Yeah, you got to have etiquette. I mean, you got to have some type of etiquette. You got to have some type of. Yeah, you got to have some type of niceness about you, because a lot of people, especially older people that got money, retired people that got money. I mean, they don't retire. They got money. They got real estate. They got everything going on for them. They got money. They get their hair done every week. They some of them don't care how you do their hair. They want their hair washed.
Mm-hmm. They want the salon experience.
They want the salon experience.
It's a part of.
And if all they want is somebody nice.
Mm-hmm.
They want somebody to treat them nice. They want you to, roll their hair, curl their hair, wash them. They want a good wash. They want that wash now. But they don't care nothing about really, all this other stuff that's going on in the salon. They don't care. They just want you to treat them nice. They want to feel good. Mm-hmm. It's just like, shoot, man,
What about the men?
You want to take, you know what I'm saying. At a certain age now, you ain't studying fine. You think about money and somebody treating you good.
Fine is not a...
Honey, girl, fine and broke, no. Fine and mean. You don't want that. You want to be treated good. That's what everybody wants. Everybody, it's an old saying, old folks say it all the time. People remember how you make them feel. You know what I mean? You make them feel good. You make people feel pretty. You make them feel like they're pretty.
You know what? I think that might be something that's missing. Mm-hmm. Because I think the art of turning your client around in that chair, I'm like, oh my God, girl, you look good. Oh my God, you going out tonight, whatever. But I think it's just kind of like, okay, you see yourself? What you think? All right, go on. And I can't lie, I've kind of, I've done that before.
What you do, what I train my girls to do is to always, and I'm trained like that to this day. When I see you, the first thing I'm gonna tell you is what I like. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Be like, oh, I like your coat. You know what I mean? I like your earrings or something. I scan you when I see you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? This girl brought her mama to church about 6 months ago, and I said, "Girl, your mama got some pretty legs." Oh, girl, bad, But I am trained that way. I think. That's the way I think. I think that when I see you, I'm going to say, oh, you look good. Your hair don't grow like that. Something. It's just my mind goes there. And I used to train my girls to when you meet people at the door, you tell them something good. Mm-hmm. You tell them, everybody want to hear something good when they come to your door.
Coming back.
Yeah, you tell them something good. Tell me something good. It's be a song. You remember that song?
Yeah, sing it.
Tell me something good. Dun, dun. You remember that?
Yes. Yes. I didn't know you were a singer too.
Girl, I can't sing. Everybody tell me don't sing.
Mm-hmm. So while we're on that topic, I'm hearing from different clients that, they'll go in a salon and the stylist is barely talking to them. It seems like, the transition in the business right now. People are going from school to suites.
Right.
And they're not getting all the things that you mentioned earlier. Mm-hmm. They're not getting this environment of being taught how to manage. I don't even think, the blow dry bars are a thing where you can come out of school and go to, but I don't even think that that's necessarily taught, the things that you were talking about. Mm-hmm. It's just kind of, hey, how you doing? Let me get you in and out of here.
Right.
But the things where it's almost like a hair country club. Mm-hmm. It's a place that we kind of commune and we keep coming to, we're going to look beautiful when we leave and we're going to catch up on the news, the gossip, all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But, like you just mentioned, these stylists are missing the parts of the old salon culture that has gone away.
Yeah. What I used to do with my young girls when they first always, with you know, because all my girls were young. So, and they had, and you know, I'm a church person, so you know, everybody stayed in town, you know, flooding to the salon. Mm-hmm. And to make sure that my girls could talk to all types of people, mm-hmm. They had to watch the news. So every morning when they come in, they watch the news. So that when older people come in, you know, they can talk to the people coming out the club and, you know, doing what they do. But they couldn't talk to people that was, you know, church people, stuff like that. They couldn't relate. They couldn't relate to anything. So they had to watch the news.
That'll give them something in common.
They had to have something in common to talk about. Because, you know, I trained my girls early that young people, that your friends and stuff, they get their hair done. The young people go everywhere to get their hair done.
That's true.
Old people want one beautician.
That's true.
You want to talk.
Yeah.
You got to have different gas. You got to talk a little bit. You got to talk to people. So I made them watch the news every day. They watch the news. You know, they knew everything was going on. You know, in the news, and that keeps you from gossiping too. You know, doing a lot of gossip because in this salon, you know everybody's business too. So you gotta keep you from the news will keep you having something to talk about without talking about somebody else. You know.
Now, have you ever had a situation amongst stylists, mm-hmm. like stylists not liking each other, mm-hmm. or either, let's say somebody did something bad or relational issues with dealing with a man? Have you had those issues in your salon amongst that?
With a man? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I've had everything. You just name it's like a soap opera. It's like Clint's always say, he always tell me, I talked to him last month, about 2 weeks ago I talked to Clint, he told me, we should have had us a reality show. Yes. He said, we were crazy. Now, I had some, and I don't know what I can talk about this.
Don't say the names.
I ain't gonna say the names, but I got this is my cousin. And I can't, I can't tell it good without telling how they did it. But anyway, what was the question again?
The question is, amongst stylists, did you ever have like some major conflict or even some conflict with somebody's man, a stylist man, or a client?
Oh yes.
You know,
yes,
that kind of thing.
We had all that kind of stuff going on, you know, people messing with the same man and stuff like that. But then we have like the conflict with the stylists. We had to be a team. My girls had to be a team. They did have some people that didn't want to be like nice all the time. They had bipolar and whatever. But then one day, we had one of our girls. She was mean to my girl, all the other girls. But then one day, the repo man came to pick up her car.
Oh Lord!
In the parking lot on Campus Cuts in the middle of Fairwood Street. The man got her car on the truck outside, everything. And so, you know, I'm like, you know, she's crying. And so I called the man in. I said, so how much does it cost for me to get her car off of that truck? He told me what it cost to get her car off the truck. I said, well, I have to run to the bank. He said, you can't run to the bank. He said, you can't go to the bank. He said, well, he said, you're either going to have it or
have the money.
The money.
Okay.
You know, because like he's getting paid from the people that's repoing the car. Mm-hmm. So we got to pay him and get her off that. We got to pay her and get her car back down off that. He already got it jacked up in there. So I tell my girls and guy, Clint was in there too, and I said, we're a team. We're not letting them take her car. So we cleaned the cash register out. Everybody were in their capes, in their coats, in their drawers.
What?
We paid that man. They dropped her car in the middle of Feather Street. They dropped it, gave it back to her. We had to pay that man to drop her car, because I'm just saying that they done paid him. I mean, they gonna pay him. He don't really want our money, so we got to make it worth his while to drop her car. They dropped her car, and she was hugging and kissing them, and just thankful. But it was a healing moment, that they needed. They needed her. She needed them, and that God had a way of making her realize that she was a part of the team. They didn't have to do what they did, but we decided we just not gonna let them take her car. You know what I mean? She part of our team. You know what I mean? She probably made the most money. She was bad. I mean, she made a bunch of money. I don't know what she did with it, but they had a car jacked up. But she was, we treated, and then she stopped having so many conflicts with everybody. But I don't know why she couldn't get along with her. It humbled her totally. Then we had an incident. I don't know how to tell it because there was so much cussing in it. I wasn't there. And my girls know when they answer the phone to be nice to everybody. But then we had one girl called down there, and she wanted to know which one of y'all are bees working in there is effing her boyfriend. But this day, I wasn't there. I got the information when I got back. And this day, though, the right one answered the phone. The wrong one answered the phone, but it was the right one. And she said, well, well, you asking the wrong person. She said, you going to ask him.
That's right.
She said, well, he know who the H-E-F-ing up here.
That's true.
She said, but I'll tell you, it ain't me. So.
That's the truth.
But that was when I got back and they told me about that one. I was going to get on her but about cussing the person out on the phone, right? But I was laughing so hard that I couldn't even punish her. And it was like I would have been a hypocrite because I fell out. I said, what? She said, she shouldn't have called up here asking us no stuff like that. I told her, go in and ask him.
That is the truth.
Oh, so.
Calling the salon.
Called the salon, child. She said, well, I will tell you it ain't me. She said, I know it ain't me. But it was just so funny. But, we have incidents like that where, they don't get along or something like that. But they were, overall, we just had a good time every day.
It was a good time when I worked there.
It was a good time.
It was like a party going to work.
It was. And then I did the bus stop every day. They said, Miss Debbie, do the bus stop. They danced the bus stop. They used to make me get out on the floor and do the bus stop. That's the only dance I knew they do anyway. But it was just funny. Everybody say, get quiet, get bored. Miss Debbie, do the bus stop.
I remember now, one situation I remember. Some girl came in who used to work for you. And I guess she was trying to rent a booth with you again. And she said she needed something to cover her up because she had some skills that had been patented, some sewing skills, and she didn't want anybody else to see how she was doing her sewing. I remember.
What did I say?
And you said you told her that that she is too advanced for this salon, that she is above this salon, so it wouldn't be a good idea for her to work here. But you told us that you basically told her that because you didn't want that in your salon. Not that she was really above the other stylists, but if you need all that, you need to be having your own lease and your own place. Exactly. You're that superior.
Exactly. Yeah, you're not going to be able to get along with people. And the other stylist is going to be uncomfortable because you're going to be rude and think you something that you're not. you know.
Yeah, I mean, if you got those requirements,
You got all them skills like that, then you need to. That you gotta cover everybody. Gotta cover you up. You need to be somewhere else.
yeah,
Because we don't have that. You know, we didn't have that. We had we had 8 booths on the floor. You know, we had we had 8 on the floor. So
was that at the Campus Cut Salon?
yeah,
What was the square footage of that salon?
1,000.
So you put 8 booths in 1,000 square feet. You was working your space.
Right. And then, you know, I was in the back room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You was working it. So let us know, because you have a salon in the West End, and then you ended up seeing this place on Fayetteville Street. Now, how did you get this place? Because this area is probably one of the most favorable for building and clientele, especially what's in walking distance.
Right.
It's a gold mine for that type of business.
Right. Well, I was just driving down Fayetteville Street, and it was an old dry cleaners, and the Lord said, "That's your building," and I said, "Okay." So, Mr. Evans, the man that owned the property, he worked in the convenience store next door to us. So I went over there and I told him that I wanted to rent that property. He said, "Well, there's no more beauty salons is coming up here." He said, "Because I got too many beauty salons over there." He said, "I don't want any more beauty salons." He said, "So, no, you can't have that spot." And so I said, "Okay." And I was like, So I left out and I got in the car, and the Lord said, "That's your building." And I drove through there a couple more days. I didn't bother him. I didn't go back in and bother him because he was irritated. And so a couple days later, I went back in there to speak to Mr. Evans, and I said, I came back. I said, I was just seeing that you changed your mind about the building. He said, "No." He said, "It's too many beauty salons over there." He said, "I already got, it was Vivian's, and it was another old people, and it was another old." And he said, "It's 3 beauty salons right there." He said, "I don't want any more beauty salons up there." And so I left again. And so, like for 3 or 4 days, the Lord was just dealing with me about that building. And so this time, I ain't asking nothing about the building. I went in that building. I said, he was smiling at me this time when I came in the building. I said, this is what God told me to say when I walked in there. I said, "Mr. Evans," I said, you know that's my building. I know that's my building. And God know that's my building. He said, "It's your building."
So you told him.
He said, "That's your building." And before I knew it, he was in there getting it ready. He painted it. He took the stuff. It had these big bolts where they had the dry cleaning machines at the big screws. I had never seen screws that big. It was like thousands of them all over the floor. He had to go in there with these machines, and they cut those bolts, and then they put new tile in there. They painted it. He did everything for me except for like plumbing. And he got it ready for me.
Oh wow. God told you.
Yeah, I said, "You know that's my building." I said, "I know that's my building. God know that's my building." He said, "It's your building." I mean, he said it just like that. He said, "It's your building."
So in other words, you can't really let up on things, when you know God told you to.
Yeah, if God is telling you, then you can't. It's like it's burning in your spirit. It's like, I mean, I was fine on the West End. I was fine. I wasn't riding through there looking for a building. I was riding down Fayetteville Street in my convertible. God said, "That's your building."
Your convertible. Let's get back to
in
that.
my convertible.
Okay. What kind of car was this?
I had a Volkswagen Cabrio.
Okay. And you always like the
I had 4 of them.
You told me you like you drive nothing but German cars.
Well, You know how black folk is. We try to act like that, you know.
You told me you drove nothing but German cars.
Back then I did, and I drove only Cabriolets and convertibles at that time.
Drop tops. Okay, you still got some German cars. I seen one out there.
I do. I got the Mini Cooper, and I see and the Benz. Yeah. But I didn't realize it. I didn't realize that those are German cars.
Yes. God's still blessing, honey. Yes. So I want to get to, have you seen women go through relationships and they kind of shift and change them? In other words, you know, you had all these stylists or whatever, and you know how, I'm sure you got so many stories of when your stylist getting engaged, getting married, or just getting into a new relationship. But have you ever had some where you seen them and they just kind of wasn't, it kind of messed up their life or career?
Yeah. I seen some that made it, and I seen a couple didn't make it. I mean that mentally left here. You know, mentally, like, you know, men mess them up. Just messed them up, messed up their whole careers, messed up their whole life. I've seen that happen.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen it happen. And what can we do about that? Change that? What you trying to ask?
Oh, no. I want to get into mental health. You know, being that we're in the service industry, we're listening to a lot of people's problems. A lot of people coming in and dumping all their stuff off on you. And, you know, how can we better take care of ourselves in relationships, knowing when to walk away? Because I can say we can be really stressed out, carrying a lot of stress, and we might come home to something and just feel like it's something. But it's not the best thing. You know, it could be draining us.
Right. Well, as you know, I'm not a psychiatrist or anything like that.
You kind of are.
But I am, you know, born again Christian, and I am, you know, I'm a minister, and we I mean, it's a tough question. You know, how do we handle that? Because as women, you know, in any relationship, when you pour your heart out to somebody, and then, you know, something happens and it don't work out, then, you know, you can be tremendously hurt and drawn apart. But I think that we should make sure that those around us are in a safe place, and that is where that we teach each other that, you know, you can't trust. The Bible tells us not to trust anybody but God. And you be like, well, you don't trust your husband, you don't trust this. God tells us in his word to trust only him. He tells us not to have confidence in nobody else's flesh, because nobody knows the heart of man but God. You know, so I don't know what my man at any moment is thinking about, or what he's planning, or what he's doing in his head. I would hope with all my heart that I chose somebody that is gonna be good to me, and I can we go where he gonna go and come back. But in between him going where he gonna go and going where whatever he's doing, nobody knows what he's doing but him and God. You know what I'm saying? And I have to keep myself in a position that in life with anybody, you have to keep yourself in a position where if anything fall apart, that you're going to run to God. You know what I mean? Because you're going to be hurt. I'm not going to tell anybody that you're not going to be hurt, but you have to be at a place in your life with everything where you run to God. You know what I mean? And you have to go into any type of relationship, whether it's a girl or, you know, buddy relationship or whatever it is. You know what I mean? I'm determined in my heart, when as a Christian woman, that we are friends for life. You know what I mean? I'm determined in my heart that whoever I have a relationship, that we're friends from life, whether, you know, you do me wrong or not. You know, you can do me wrong, and we good. We may not I might not come over your house, you might not come over mine, but you good with me. You know, because I'm going to forgive you because I got to go on with my life. But we have to educate women that you can only trust God. I can't put my life in your hands and say, well, you know, I just trust him. I just trust him. I just trust him. You know, I can't do that. You know, and of course, are we going to be hurt if something happens? Yes, we're going to be hurt if something happens. I mean, we real people. We, you know, things, you got real flesh and blood, but you got to be at a place in your life where you're going to have to run to God. And I think that we as people sometimes see people going through that and we just they say, well, I don't want to be bothered, and we leave them alone. When you see your girlfriends and somebody don't quit them and they are hurting, then you don't leave them alone. You know what I mean? You make sure that you go over there and you sit on their step and you bang on their door till they answer or come cuss you out or whatever. But you don't leave your friends alone when they are hurting like that, because they can shift into something else. You know, depression can take you there. You know what I'm saying? But also at the same time, you know, being crushed in relationships can be a blessing, because, you know, when God is taking you out of something that's not for you, you know, that's like sticking your feet in a pair of shoes that hurt. And you trying to, you know, you a size 10 shoe and you still trying to walk around with that 7 on all day. And that hurts. God is delivering you from that shoe that's hurting your feet. You know what I'm saying? Let that man go on to know. And you don't want, no, you have to train yourself that you don't want somebody that don't want you. And that's sad, because I see so many women every day in the salon and everywhere else run behind people the person don't want you. You know what I mean? The person don't want you. You know, duh. Sulu, get on about your business. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But, you know, and we have to be there for each other. You know, we have to be there for each other, girl. I know you hurting and everything, but sister girl, you got to get your tail up. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna do this today. We going out. Get your clothes on. We going somewhere. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You got to be there for each other, because these things are real and they really happening, but we can't get so stupid. You know, we got to stop it. You know, like, hey. And then when you look back, when you go through things, you be like, oh God, I'm so glad I won't stuck with that. You know what I mean? And you be so thankful that God took you through that. And then you got to understand that you might go through 500, I mean, not, Lord, I hope don't be 500. You might go through 5 real relationships before you get to the right person. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And what I tell my girls in my Bible study and Girls on Fire is that, let's say God, this is what, December 2005. Now God already got his plan over here in the book of your book of life, with Brooks' book of life. Mm-hmm. You gonna get married. You gonna meet that man in May the 27th. God already got it planned out to meet that man. You gonna meet in May the 27th of 2027. But you going through Tom, Dick, and Harry every day. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get, and God already got the date and the hour that you gonna meet yours. You got what I'm saying? God already got that. God already know. He already ordained your life. He already planned it. Your life is already before God. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? All you got to do is live for God. God may have you going to school, opening your own businesses, you know, getting into real estate. God may have you doing all kind of things so that when you get your husband, you know, you got yourself together. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you ready. But you might break up with a few men on the way. Mm-hmm. It's all right.
But you know? That's not the end.
That ain't the end. That's the beginning, child. When you got, girl, that's the beginning. When you, girl, get that wrong thing out your life. I mean, and, you know, just said that ain't the one, you know. Let me just, you know, you got to keep going. Go on. You just go on go on to the next thing, child. Mm-hmm. So God got something great for you. That's how you know God got something great for you when that thing just leave from out of nowhere. You be like, you like, what in the world? You know, that hurts, but it's a blessing. Mm-hmm. It's a blessing in it. It's a blessing in it, child. You gotta see old ladies be like, Lord, child, I'm so glad Slewfoot went on by his business. Went on by his and Lion Joe, you know what I mean, and all that, and no working Sam, you know what I'm saying? It broke behind.
No good.
You know good, like yeah, worn out Jack.
Mm-hmm.
We got 50 million women. I mean, you know, you got to get rid of all that. You know what I mean? It's good to get rid of all that mess.
Yep.
I tell you.
Don't have it in the way.
No.
So we about at the end, Miss Debbie.
Okay.
What can we look forward to from you?
Child, you can look forward to me and Girls on Fire. We doing some stuff in the street. I'm finna start some type of podcast for, you know, us girls, you know, us girls. We can talk about the things we did in Durham with Girls on Fire in Durham. We can talk about it online, and we can have our own little private meetings and, you know, a little ghetto talk. You know, a little ghetto. Y'all know I'm a little ghetto. I get a little real sometimes. You know, just talking about things that keep us holy, you know, while we waiting, and, you know, and how to be the finest woman on your job, how to be the finest woman in your church. You know, just to talk about doing things great, the way God wants us to do them the right way, you know, with the right intentions in mind, and being happy, you know, being grateful, being joyful, you know what I mean, having a exuberant life, you know, that's real important. Making money, you know, we need to make money. Women need to make money. We need to make a lot of money. You know, my pastor in Durham, Pastor Fuller, used to tell us, he said, I ain't gonna have no dumb church. Y'all ain't gonna leave my church and be dumb. He said, y'all ain't gonna leave my church and be poor. We ain't having no broke poor people, and we ain't gonna have no dumb people.
Amen.
That's the word of God. Don't say nothing about us being dumb and us being poor. We women, and we, the Bible say we was made for the man, so he the one getting the treasure. He the one getting it all, because we got it all. We gonna have it all. When we get to a man, we gonna have it all. We gonna have it all together. We gonna be financially stable. We don't need, we ain't gonna, we not gonna have no man that pick us up off the ground. We ain't gonna have to sell no coochie.
Okay.
We ain't gonna have to sell that. Cause our Father owned a cattle on 1,000 hills. You know, God is, He's good. We don't have to stoop to no levels. We don't have to marry no man because he got money. We're gonna marry somebody because we love him and he got some money.
2-for-1 deal.
I know, right? And so we want to, and you know, if he don't have a bunch of money, if he work hard, and he's a good working man, you know, we can work with. You know, we're looking for good men. I mean, they looking for us. Hold it. They looking for us. So, you know, we want good men, and we want to educate women that they don't have to sleep with everything, and you know, stick everything in their mouth and all that. You know, we don't have to do all that. We want to educate, because now people are just doing crazy stuff just to have a companion. And God got somebody planned for you. God has all these things planned for you. He wants you to enjoy yourself until you get to the next step. And your next step is coming. And don't rush it. Because you got one time to be single, and hopefully one time to be married. You know, you don't want to. You still don't want to. You know, if it break up, it break up. God got another one for you. I'm pro marriage. I'm pro man. I love me a man. I am, but I do believe that we should wait. We should wait. I think that we should wait. We should enjoy ourselves. We should be happy all the time. We're joyful. You know, we should be joyful. We should enjoy our life. We should have money. We should have goals. We should have vision. You know, I believe that those are the things that you're going to hear from me talking about. And I just believe that everywhere you go, you should be the finest, teaching women to be the finest woman that they can be. Not because of how they look or what they weigh. Or God said that we were wonderfully made. That's what He said. He made us excellent and wonderful. We have to walk in that. You know, we have to teach each other and exhort each other, build each other up to walk in that. And so that's what I'm going to be. That's where my life is going. That's where I'm headed.
Oh, that sounds good. That sounds good, Miss Debbie. Well,
Yes.
thank you so much, Miss Debbie, for coming to the Lavender Speaks podcast. And we'll see y'all next time.